Hello, and welcome to the Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Each week, they bring you conversations with local Christian businesses and business owners. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. The Experience Local is brought to you each week by wonderful sponsors.
Best Heating and Cooling, serving Lynn, Benton, and Marion counties since 1990. Call 503-394-3461 and online at best-heating.com. Join Bosun Hub in supporting CASA of Lynn County. Court-appointed special advocates for children. Learn more at lyncasa.org. Independent Merchant Brokers. Innovative solutions for your payment processing needs. 877-460-4747 and on the web, independentmerchantbrokers.com. Memory care at the Arbor at Avamere Court and Independent Living at Avamere at Albany. Learn more online, arboratavamerecourt.com and avamereatalbany.com. Discover Oregon Real Estate. Statewide experts in luxury home sales, farm, ranch, commercial, business sales, and land developments. Call 541-250-1065 and visit them online at dore.llc.
And now, your hosts for the Experience Local, Russ and Scott.
And now, here we are live on the Experience Local, live with Russ and Scott. So glad to see everybody today. Well, I guess I don't see out there, but I'm so thankful that you're there. And Scott and I are so blessed, whether you are watching live, which we go live at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 11 a.m. Texas Standard Time every week on Monday. You can also be watching maybe on replay. If you are, please put hashtag Team Replay on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, whatever your favorite medium is. Or you could be listening on audio podcast on Spotify. Thank you for that. Please like and share that as well. Or last but not least, the Experience Radio Network. You could be listening on KWIL in Albany or KYKN in Salem. If you are, thank you so much for listening to us today. What a blessing to have you with us. Scott, how are you doing?
Hey, welcome to December, Russ. It's always great to hang out with you. And here we are following Thanksgiving week and the 1,000 Thanks movement. Thank you to everybody that uses that hashtag, 1,000 Thanks.
That's right. You know what? Keep using that, everybody, because you know what? Thanksgiving should be every day. Mm-hmm. We should be thankful every day. And you know what? If anybody hasn't told you this before, life happens and then you choose to be thankful. There you go. Choose to be thankful every day. And
Russ, I'm thankful for the book that you wrote, Life Happens, and Then You Choose. This is the newest book. And you have a Black Friday special that is going here on Cyber Monday in a little bit. Tell us about that.
That's right. Today is the day. Cyber Monday sale. It's been going through the weekend, but today is the last day. Get $5 off, either the ebook, the Kindle, or paperback or hardcover. And today's a great day to stock up on Christmas presents, because I'm telling you, if you want to encourage your family, this is a very encouraging book. And I'll tell you, it would encourage me if you buy a copy, because you know what happens when you do that? Amazon shows it to more people, and I'm trying to inspire and encourage more people. That's what I'm all about. And I'd love to hear what you think. So thank you so much for all those who have supported me. It's been going great, Scott.
I put into the comments that, as we've mentioned before, I'll be speaking at PodFest in Orlando, Florida this January, coming up the 15th through the 18th. And so I created a landing page on my website. So dscottsmith.com/podfest2016. And if you go there, you can also link to a limited edition podcast that I created. 7 episodes. They're 5 minutes or less each. And that just released this weekend. It's on all of the platforms, Apple, Spotify. It's also on iHeartMedia and Pandora. You can find that anywhere, but it's called Old School Opens New Doors. And I just want to encourage people, subscribe to this limited edition podcast. 7 episodes. Again, all episodes are less than 5 minutes, but it gives you a preview of what's coming up in Orlando in 2016.
That is going to be so awesome. And I am so blessed to be able to be there and support you. And I'm very, very excited about that, Scott.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. And we've got a great guest today, Geoff Tyson from here in Texas. I'm looking forward to hearing from Geoff today.
Oh, absolutely. Geoff is an amazing friend, and I'm so grateful to have him on. I just want to do a quick reminder to everybody that we're here every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Texas Standard Time. Please, right now, before Geoff comes in the room, make sure that you share this out and that you tag your friends. Let them know Geoff is going to be on. And also want to let you know that if you want more information on the experience and our amazing variety of shows, including the Waco Experience, go to local.theexperience.video for more information on there. Or if you want to subscribe to our YouTube, you can go directly to theexperience.video today, and we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And with that, I think we got to get Geoff in the room, Scott.
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it. Hey, Geoff.
Hey, what's going on, Russ? Dr. Scott, how are you guys this morning?
Man, Geoff, always good to see you. I love the title, The Comeback King. I think we're going to find out a little bit about what that means today.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I want to tell you guys, I love the 1,000 thanks that you're talking about and everything that you're doing for local businesses. And it's an honor to be here today. Thank you.
Well, it's an honor to have you, Geoff. And let's start off with the basics. I already know, and Scott, we know how amazing you are, but not everybody watching knows how amazing you are and how God has blessed you so tremendously. So tell us a little bit about Geoff. Who is Geoff Tyson? What in the world are you up to?
Well, hey, affectionately, I'm known as the Comeback King, as you said. But, I got that name from going from faithless throughout my life to a man of a kingdom builder, right? From all the experiences. And we'll talk a lot about that. And then also from family, losing a marriage I thought would last forever. And going through all those things, fellas, and then regaining my self-love. And man, I've got to tell you, I've found the love of my life and married now 15 years coming up. And so, it's the comeback, right? And in business, you guys, we talk about business, man. And from an old corporate guy starting my first business and getting clobbered in the housing market and thinking, when's it going to end, right? And then finding pace again and getting involved in real estate and coaching and now, man, amazingly doing YouTube channel conversations with Geoff and taking people from heartbreak to healing and showing pathways to extraordinary love in all those areas, man. So it's been a journey, unlike many of you that have taken that same journey.
Well,
yeah, absolutely. That's great. I just so let's talk a little bit about the work that you're doing right now. Who are the folks that you're helping?
Dr. Scott, we talk about walking in faith, right? This is one that I was like, oh man, I really don't want to do this, right? And we're talking about helping people who have gone from heartbreak to divorce and bad relationships and then find a way to heal again. Those that really would like to get remarried, Dr. Scott, and men and women, because I've done a lot of work with men, but those people that are like, man, Geoff, how do I forgive myself? How do I start over again? How do I find God again? Sometimes they're so disconnected from that. And it's been an amazing series. We just started doing that full speed around 6 months ago. And so we're hosting some summits and it's not one thing I wanted to raise my hand and talk about, right? Can I talk about real estate? Can I talk about business development? Can I talk about leadership? But he kept telling me no. And here we are today in that space.
Well, you and I have had some amazing conversations, Geoff. And for those people who don't know, this amazing worldwide community that we have online is really brought to completion when we actually get to give the person a big hug and see them face to face. And I was so blessed to see you in New York.
Yes.
Funny thing is, you live in Houston, I live in in Oregon, and we meet in New York. So whatever, but whatever happens, you made it happen. I was able to have a great time with you. And what I've learned about you, Geoff, is you are a completely authentic, God-loving man who really wants the best for your life, what God wants for you, what how you can serve and bless your beautiful wife and your family. And I want you really to talk to us about that more. Your faith really drives pretty much everything in your life. Well, it should. And sometimes we get off track. I know I do at times. So talk a little bit about that interaction of faith and business and, trying to make money to support your family and all that.
Wow, that's an amazing question. And I've got to speak to New York for just a second, though. Folks, we didn't know we were going to be in New York. This is talk about divine interaction, right? And all of that stuff. So, man, I appreciate you taking the time to meet with me while you were out there, too. But I will tell you, I think I have to talk about the faithless part of my journey, right? When I was like, man, I didn't believe that, he was there to help me. I think I could just do it on my own, right? I don't know. I'm not the only one that says, I'll figure it out and be stubborn around it. But there's a point in my life, and this is a long time ago, where you guys are familiar with the footprint prayer, where at the very end of that prayer, the person says, I thought you were supposed to be with me all the time. And then he says, I was when I was with you. And where's the other set of footprints? And he says, that's when I was carrying you, my son. So that's been my journey. It's taking it back and figuring it out on Geoff's way, and then finally surrendering it, to him, and then asking for guidance. And so it's about building a relationship. I start my day, my wife and I come together in the mornings, and we do a devotional. I often try and do it every day, and then we take that message and carry it out between us and then people that we interact with. And it's not something we do all the time. Trying to invite him into my life and build a relationship just like you and I have, right? I mean, I always like to joke with people. He's sitting next to me now. He's smiling at me, right? And saying, good job, my son, right? And so it's a simple way of doing it, Russ, but it works for me. The relationship is the most important, and I work on it every day. Can't say it.
Well, I tell you, that's, Russ and I are big. We often talk on this show and on the Wednesday show on The Experience about the necessity of having habits, routines, rituals in our lives. And especially for Russ and I, it's that morning routine.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how do you ground yourself?
Oh, that's kind of simple for me. When I get up, I'm already before my feet hit the ground. When I'm laying in bed, my first thing is gratefulness for the day. I'm about to open my eyes and my feet are about to hit the ground. So before I start out, I'm already getting myself prepared to say, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. So when my feet hit the ground, they're tap dancing, right? Because I'm ready to go. So, and then I don't do any electronics. I try not to do any electronics. And we don't watch the news, and really just kind of easing into the day through the conversation with God. What is the plan today? Help me to follow your lead. And for the most part, man, and then I exercise and all the other things, but my day starts in the morning before I get out of bed.
Well,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm so sorry. I interrupted you.
Oh, no, you're all right. So it's a simple thing. And I can tell you, I do it not all the time every morning, but the nice thing about life is you can hit the reset button. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Like Scott said, that we are all about morning routine. And why is that? I think that all three of us agree that the way you get your day started is the way you're headed. And the
Yes.
number one thing that I want to do daily, and sometimes I get distracted in the middle of it and I have to repent. I want to start with God and put him first in my life. And I do that every morning. And then I try my best not to get distracted with other things because so much going on.
Yes.
Depends on how much time I usually give myself. My morning routine normally takes 2 to 3 hours in the morning. So I
Mm-hmm.
get up with plenty of time to have time with God, time to journal, then
Yeah.
time to start putting my day together and all those kind of things too, to be a little bit more in step with that. But I think that is where putting God first makes such a difference with how the rest of the day comes together. Right, Geoff?
No, I agree. And I'll be honest with you guys. This morning was one of those examples where it was a lot of clutter going on between the communication with my wife and I and our daily reading, right? And I got to tell you, I was probably 50% in that space, like you were talking about. So but I know that I'm going to get it back and talk to him. So no matter what, we still try and do it, get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott?
Yeah, let's talk about 15 years now. How do you guys integrate your faith together as a couple?
Oh man, it's been a journey because she was always been consistent in going to church and not had gaps like I've had in my life. So it's been patience with her, and as I've kind of I don't willingly go along. I always have questions. I'm one of those people that have questions sometimes, and she's been gracious and smiles, and I've always been more spiritual than I have been religious, and so she comes from the traditional religious background. So it's been a growing relationship in that space, and I'll tell you what, it's been a great thing to happen for us because we are able to have difficult conversations around other things because we've had difficult conversations in this space. And I, and we're now more than ever in alignment, better alignment than we've ever been. And we still have a lot of work to do because, I'm still more spiritual than I am religious. That's just who I am, right? And where my journey is. But we find that it's I think she's really quietly very happy about my growth. And my wife is a forgiving and loving person and the most supportive person in the world. So it makes it easier for me to sit down and try again.
Well, I can totally relate because without my beautiful wife constantly encouraging me and, she at the right times will bring me a Bible verse or will just talk to me she'll send me videos that she's watching or live podcasts that she's watching and that really, really speak to me. There was one, I don't know if you guys listen to this, but now I can't even remember the name of it off the top of my head. Anyway, it's a great podcast, video podcast. And there was a guest that was all about healing. And it was right at a time when I really needed that through my cancer journey. I ordered this book from this person that was an amazing book and read it on healing. And it was so good. And just having that timely word, that lifts you up and that strength, because as they say, behind every good man is an amazing woman. And
Yes.
by behind, I don't mean anything negative, like she comes second. I mean, she's the one pushing us in the right direction, right? That's the reason
Hold us
we
up.
do so well. Because I married way up. I don't know about you, but way up.
I agree. I admit it. People tell me all the time, they look and say, oh, really?
Well, Geoff, I tell you, I love all that you're doing. Give us just kind of a little rundown of your business ventures and what you're trying to accomplish right now and where that's at.
Well, I'll start with what I've talked about before, and that's really building a platform and a community around. It's leadership driven, but it's about going from heartbreak to healing and pathways to extraordinary love, and both in business, family, and health, and really kind of standing up and being that voice of possibilities, being that voice of reason, being that encouraging, living in an epic state of mind, which is encouraging, praising, inspiring, and complimenting all the folks that we come across. So that's really, my primary focus. But I will tell you that real estate is another venture that I've been involved in over the last 15 years. And so we're really looking at helping some folks in some just situations in and around real estate in multiple areas, Houston, the Midwest, and some places like that.
There's a lot of opportunities. You were talking about real estate. I have had some conversations recently with folks, and one of the things that I found that is very enticing, I think, for investors right now is getting together with somebody who manages the properties, and you can just invest in them. So you get the benefit of real estate investment, but not the headaches of property management.
Yeah.
And
Passive income.
Yeah, let's talk about some of these. What are the actual opportunities? What does it look like for people to get involved?
Well, it's as simple as first, let me back up and just make sure that, this is just my opinion. You get legal advice if you need it. But, the old saying around raising capital is that, there's people out there that are in your circle right now that have a sizable amount of money that are probably only earning 2 or 3% in wherever they have their money, or they've been getting beat up in the stock market, or it's just uncertain about what's going on. Real estate has been the most consistent bucket of money over the years that I've seen, and has kind of been substantiated that way from the higher level professionals. So people that are interested in real estate on the passive side, there's IRAs that can be converted. There's self-directed 401ks that can be converted with equitable companies that know how to do that stuff. So getting with experts to kind of make sure you know what to do with your money, and then partnering with investors that really understand how to make that happen for you and will take care of your returns. But be careful, right? I mean, I've made some mistakes and right. I've just done over 100 some deals. You're going to have some problems, and I'm still set back and owing some folks some money. So I'm going to be honest about it. Make sure that it's money that I always tell people, make sure the money that you're investing, make sure if the money what happened to catch on fire, all the money you had and burn up, you'd be okay. I mean, I use that example because people can envision that, right?
It's quite a visual image.
Yeah,
Well, this is what I love about you, Geoff, is that you're giving sound and practical advice to people through your life experience. So you've learned a lot over your life, and money is a tough area for people, right? So number one, I just want to say that I have learned, and I'll let you comment on this, but I have learned that even when we feel like we're lacking, that giving is such a great spirit to have. We still always have more than some others have, and being able to help others, even in a small way. And I know that you have that giving heart. You're such a blessing. Everybody has that. It goes down. I've had people support and give to me, and I'm able to give and support to others. And it's just the way God puts it together. And I love that. And then that in turn blesses the financial activity that you have if you let God stay in the lead, right, Geoff?
That's right. Absolutely. And you do that, man. I mean, you are, everybody knows, most people know about your journey in terms of the struggle with cancer. And bruh, you show up like when I'm like, you probably could just like to roll up in the ball, but you show up and you're encouraging and you're inspiring, you're cheering people on, man. That was my hook when I said, this guy, I got to get to know this guy, because of how you show up. And then Dr. Scott, just a quiet voice, with a lot to say, right? I mean, just two powerful men. So I'm attracted to that type of living. So you guys are living proof that it works that way.
It's interesting. You're just talking about retirement accounts, 401ks, and we need to be responsible. We need to be prepared, right? I mean, God gives us resources to be stewards of, but also He talked about manna in the wilderness. He provides what we need when we need it. Yeah. And sometimes when we try to store up too much, it gets corrupted.
Okay. No, I love that, and that's why I encourage people, hey, if you're not comfortable, then educate yourself, understand if you pray it up and do the right things, chances are that's going to work out for you. Holding on to it, right? I mean, you can't take it to, and if you have it to give, it helps other people. Think about this. If you were able to take somebody, man, and be part of a community development that houses veterans, for example, or community development that handles folks coming out of prison, right? And that you can make an impact on their lives. You don't even have to do anything but just make sure your money goes to those types of projects, or you have some research to do and make sure it works, but your time is not taken. And that money goes and it creates opportunities for other people in real estate. So, and there's no better time than now to get involved. They say that this unfortunately for folks, that this not 2026 is going to be another year where investing in real estate with the right teams is going to have big dividends, helping a lot of people.
Well, that's just it. The right team, the right people, right? And God directs us to the right people. That's why he directed us to you. And Geoff, I want to tell you, you are such a blessing to me. I'm telling you, I am still, okay, I say this all the time, but I'm really working on it. So I'm getting down to support Scott in Florida here coming up next month, which I'm so thankful for. I'm getting out to see some other friends this year, but Texas is next on my agenda. And I'm going to get over there, and I'm going to get not only to Waco with Scott, but to Houston, because I have so many friends there, including Mr. Geoff Tyson.
Yeah. Well, Russ, I know you're flying to Ireland, and when you fly from Portland to Ireland, I will tell you, you can't miss Texas, right? You're going to see it. So
you can if you fly nonstop. You fly right over, yeah. But no, anyway, I'm super excited. That is super high on my agenda, and I just want you to wrap things up for us today, because we only have a minute or two left. So tell everybody how they can get in touch with you, how they can continue this conversation, and if you have a short gold nugget, let us know in the next minute. Ready, go.
Yes. Well, first of all, Geoff C. Tyson at gmail.com, GEOFF Tyson at gmail.com. Best place to do that. Just drop me there and check out our show, Conversations with Geoff, Facebook, YouTube, GEOFF, Conversations with Geoff. And parting words today is man, it's better to give than to receive. It's better to reach out and pull somebody up than push them down. So let's begin to work together, and let's find love. Let's be epic. Encourage, praise, inspire, and compliment everybody that you meet. Smile, baby. Let's smile and say hello.
There we go.
I love that. Well, we're going to wrap things up. Remind everybody that we're here every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 11 a.m. Texas Standard Time. And hope you join us next week. But before we go, Geoff, we're going to say goodbye to you here on screen. And so thankful. Hang tight in the green room for just a minute. We'll be there after, okay?
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, fellas. Have a great day. I appreciate you very much.
Thanks, Geoff.
Well,
wow,
fabulous,
Scott, amazing.
Fabulous way to start off December with Geoff.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he's an amazing man. Everybody needs to connect with him. So not only is he a great man of God, but he is just a great, amazing individual human.
And remind people that your book is on sale today for $5 off, whichever version you want to get. Life Happens and Then You Choose. And so you can go to russhedge.com. You can find it on Amazon. Again, the title is Life Happens and Then You Choose. Buy it today.
That's right. And by the way, everybody, there's all the information. $5 off ebook, paperback, or hardcover. The link is in the chat. And if you're listening online, just go to russhedge.com. You'll find it. All right. Till next week. Have an amazing, amazing week, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Scott. Everybody, enjoy life and enjoy
the local experience.
There you go.
Thank you for tuning in to The Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We look forward to seeing you next time on The Experience Local with Russ and Scott.